Hello everybody, welcome to the top 5 most beautiful games ever played by me, IndieMaster Caravan. So what we will be looking at here will be not only graphics, we will be looking at music, storyline, graphic designs, climate and art style of the game. So yeah, without further ado, let's begin the top 5 of the most beautiful games ever played by me. Let's begin with the 5th position on the list, The Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion. What you have here is a slick, bright and therefore dark design of the game. Basically, when you go to the forest, you can hear the wind blowing the trees, you can feel the warm glass, and when you go to the caves you feel the darkness and the mysterious climate of the place. The soundtrack that's made by Jeremy Soule, one of the best composers in gaming industry, makes the climate even better. I recommend you listen to it. I have the whole soundtrack on my phone. I listen to it every once in a while, so I recommend that. The landscape, that you could wander around carelessly while listening to some nice piece of music from Jeremy Soule. I recommend doing that on your horse, basically. The feeling of the world being a fantasy middle-agey world. The books you can read about the universe, the houses, the whole cities, they look gorgeous. And the people that talk in a similar manner, then they are dressed in a similar manner, like you would see people in Middle Ages. It's awesome. There's some pretty nice voice acting that made the game being very climatic, and so you cared what happened in the game. You care about other things that you weren't part of, but you just listened to them. So that's what you cared about. And of course, the main thing that's in the Elder Scrolls series, the feeling of being free. You can do whatever you want, you can go wherever you want, and you can explore any forest, any lake, and any cave you ever wanted to. The 4th place on the list belongs to Guild Wars 2. What you have here is an epic design with super big cities, supreme landscapes, everything just made with a thought by developers. I love that. Have you seen the Lion's Arch in Guild Wars 2? This city is just glorious. Just look it up on the internet, it's beautiful. The only game when you will love looking for so-called vista points. Vista point is basically a thing where you have to go and look for a certain point to go and look throughout the whole landscape, and you will enjoy that in Guild Wars 2 because the landscapes are just gorgeous. Magnificent graphics in the game. Just see some videos or these videos I present to you. The graphics are just cool. If you have a new computer and you enjoy MMOs and you can run the game, I recommend you buying it. It's a full-fledged MMO and a beautiful game. The art style of the HUD and the cutscenes is pretty cool. They all splashy things and the certain art of being blurry. It's pretty cool. There's some awesome storyline with great voice acting. You have your voice acting even on your character, which is cool. You choose a voice for a character. It's pretty awesome. This makes the game more RPG because you get to choose what you want to do. You get the cutscenes you see and all the other stuff that consists of RPG game. The difference between people's characters and clothing is just awesome. What I basically mean is that the character editor is made so nicely that every person looks differently. It's pretty awesome, and everything is so differentiated. Even the clothing is so much differentiated that you can make your own fashion and then go around the city and look for some ladies. And here again we have Jeremy Soule music. That's pretty nice. I like it. I enjoy Jeremy Soule very much. I recommend you looking at Fear Not This Night by Jeremy Soule. It's a pretty cool song. It's a song actually, there's a lady singing there. So yeah, Guild Wars 2 guys. On the 3rd position we have Bastion. So guys, what I can say about this game? The guy that says the stuff you do is just so awesome. The whole idea of the narrator saying something, the actions you do is pretty original. It makes the difference in the climate of the game. It's pretty cool. The game may be lacking in terms of graphics, but the art style and general idea of the map being built as you walk on it, it's pretty cool, and they scored some points on that when they lost points on graphics. The soundtracks and the songs from the game are wonderful. What I can recommend you listening to is Mother I'm Here from Bastion or Build That Wall. These two songs are just good. I love them. The storyline, how you grow accustomed to the protagonist and the rest of the people he gathers around the adventure. The plot twists, the choices you have to make, especially the last choice, which I spent half an hour thinking of what the frick I should do. The feeling of the world falling apart is pretty depressing, but it makes the game really climatic and good, which I like. And even though it's a small thing, I enjoyed it very much, and it made a difference. The backstory of the world you are in, every weapon that you hold, every city, every building that you see has a backstory to it, and the person that talks about your action explains the city, what was in the city, who the weapon belonged to, and so you learn about the stuff you gather and you see, which makes you contribute to the world and like enjoy more being in it. So yeah, Bastion everybody. On the second position we have Dark Souls 2. Well, this game is pretty sad. The whole sadness and sorrow in the game, and the thing that this world that you are in wants to die. It's a game about the world that wants to die. Isn't it depressing? You have that feeling of danger. You feel the madness of the people around you. Those sad stories that you encounter around you, that you actually have to figure out on your own because nobody will tell you what happened. You have to figure out what happened. That makes you think about the game, and it's good. What I appreciated in the game was also that even though being a savior of the world, that I wanted to save it, I was also a destroyer to it. But you wanted to do a good thing, right? The uneasiness that you can die anytime in the game. It makes the climate being more better, as I would say. But then, yeah, you can always die. That's just it. We have that minimalistic soundtrack in the game. What I mean is that they didn't focus on the soundtrack. The soundtrack was only in center places, and most of the game was silent. Anything that you could hear was only sounds like rats crawling, like your steps on the grass, the sound of someone walking, and other sounds that you can encounter in certain places. I also love the voice acting, being very minimalistic and creepy at times, but also cool, and you always wanted to listen to it and think, what are these people talking about? What are they thinking? I don't know, I have to figure out, so I will listen to them as much as I can. So yeah, Dark Souls is basically the game that I focus on the climate, not the gameplay or the graphics. The climate is the most important thing in Dark Souls 2. So the first place is occupied, by The Journey. I know you all know this game, but I had to mention it. It's just so beautiful. The wonderful design, where you go from the desert to a frozen land, which is pretty much a part of a story, but I won't reveal anything now. There's some excellent music by Austin Wintory. I think that this guy can grow up to be a Jeremy Soule. I recommend you listening to Apotheosis by Austin Wintory. It's a nice song. It lasts for 7 minutes, I think. It's very relaxing and pretty nicely done. I like listening to that when I go to sleep. Well, this is basically an exploration game, right? And in this game, you have the most opportunities to look at the best landscapes they have to offer. Like, there's this one scene when you slide down the tower, looking at the sun going down. It's so cool. I love looking at it. It looks gorgeous and magnificent. I love it. There's some mysterious storyline in the game, and the thing is that you have to figure it out on yourself by looking at some art and drawing on the walls and some projections around you and white letters, maybe. What else makes the game mysterious are those creatures made of scarves and those white letters around you, which I mentioned earlier. This makes the game even more mysterious to you because these creatures are just incredible and you couldn't even imagine something like this. And the last thing about this game is that this game has the most beautiful ending in the gaming history. Seriously, if you haven't seen that ending, you can just watch it or play the game. Whatever you do, I actually watched the whole game on the internet as well as played it because I love looking at it. It's pretty cool and gorgeous. There you go, the journey. So yeah, we came to the end of the top 5 of the most beautiful games ever played by me. I hope you enjoyed. These are my choices. Do you have any? If you do, write in the comment section. I would enjoy looking at them and answering to them. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned for more. Stay indie, stay awesome, and bye!